I get 60 equals 12x. If I divide both sides by 12, I get x equals 5. If I'm really going for the a tomorrow, I would, but I'm out of room, I would plug it back in and make sure that that makes both those proportions true. On the second one, are there any questions about that one? Anyone have any issues with that one? On the second one, it looks a little harder because we've got some decimals, so I'm going to do 6 times 3.5 and 21 times x, or 21x. 6 times 3.5, what did you get for that? Is that 19? 21. Come on. So I got 21 equals 21x. So when I divide both sides by 21, I get x equals 1. As a reminder, this cross multiplying and solving a proportion, this is from section 7.1. So if you're trying to study tonight and you didn't understand how to do that, you need to look back over your 7.1 stuff. Okay, go ahead and try number 2 and number 3. It says Carlos can read 75 pages in 2 hours. If he continues at this pace, how many minutes will it take him to read 135 pages? I hope the first thing Kevin actually did on his paper was convert from hours to minutes. So how many minutes are in an hour? 60. So 2 times 60, which is 120. So it took him 120 minutes. Okay, so he did 75 pages in 120 minutes. And we were asked how many minutes will it take him to read 135 pages. We have to set up our own proportion. This would be still from 7.1. Can you set up your own proportion? We're going to cross multiply. What's 120 times 135? I don't know. 16200. And then when I divide both sides by 75, I get x equals what? 216? So it's going to take him 216 minutes. Let me check. I agree. Yay. Awesome job. If you knew how to set this up, that's going to get you 3 out of your 4 points anyway. If Miss Jessica, I can pick on her because she didn't have to take a test. If Miss Jessica makes a mistake somehow in solving, I'm only going to take off 1 point. The whole point is, can Miss Jessica set up a proportion? And then I'm going to be forgiving if she makes a mistake converting, then I'm not going to take off that much if she still tries to set up her proportion. Okay, and then you were also supposed to try number 3, and I got a couple of questions about it. It said, they told us, find the scale factor. The figures are already shown are similar, so we're told they're similar. We don't have to prove it. And it says, find the scale factor going from BCD to FCG. So BCD, B to C, C to D, so 5, 3, 4. And FCG would be that fraction. And then, well, now I know why you're mad. You're mad at all the fractions, weren't you? Okay, well, why don't you help me convert this to decimals? What was 16 over 3 as a decimal? Did you not do this problem? 5.3, and then what was 20 over 3? Okay, so what I think we need to do is we need to have another minute on this problem. I need to know a scale factor. You get another song. It said BCG, FCG. Did you do 5 over 6.67? Because that would be the biggest one. And what did you get? I did the 2 biggest. And what did you get? Why am I the only one who's done this? I'm concerned. It says calculate the scale factor. Don't we have to make a ratio for each of the side lengths? Why is no one else shouting out an answer to that? That should be the easiest part. This should be an easy question. I get we don't like fractions, but we made it decimals, so it's okay now. What decimal did you get when you did 5 over 6.67? Okay, it's 0.754. 7, you said? I'm just going to do 0.75 at the moment. Lord knows we don't have enough time to keep up with all three today. We're obviously a little sleepy this morning. Okay, I did the two biggest, so I'm going to do the two smallest and see if I get the same scale factor. So I did the two biggest. Now I'm going to do the two smallest, which would be 3 and 4. So 3 over 4, which I know from my own brain is for sure 0.75. And then I'm going to do the leftover ones, the medium ones, which would be 4 over 5.3. I have to get someone to type that in for me. I hope it's 0.75. Okay, so I was supposed to be able to find the scale factor because it already told me there was a scale factor and they're similar. So my answer is 0.75. 0.75. This is my scale factor. You're making me nervous this morning.
I had a question because in the last one we were supposed to use the first fraction with a bigger figure. So this is different and we started with a smaller fraction put it on top.
It shouldn't matter. If you did it the other way and you got 1.25 as your scale factor, that's fine. Yeah, as long as Miss Jessica's asking, would it be okay if she did 6.67 over 5, and then 5.3 over 4, and then 4 over 3? That's fine. As long as you're consistent, it's not going to matter. I know you get a different scale factor, but you got the same number every time, so it doesn't matter to me. Either one will work. Okay, I want to let you do 4 and 6 in a second. I want to do number 5 with you because it is a doozy, and clearly we're halfway asleep this morning. It says find the perimeter of WZX, and they tell you that WZX is similar to SRT. Okay, but finding the perimeter of this one doesn't even require any math, because we know this marking means that those two sides are congruent, yes. So the perimeter of WZX is really not a good question, because we already know that's 5 plus 5 plus 4, which is really 14. So I need to reword this question. It's, instead of asking for the perimeter of the tiny one, it needs to ask for the perimeter of the larger one. So we're going to find the perimeter of the larger one just because we can, mostly because this is going to require us to prove we understand proportions. So in order to find the perimeter, we need to know that last side. So I'm going to put an X on it. We had 2 steps on problems with X's. Our first step was there a scale factor? So you have to compare 2 sides that have numbers. You can't use the sides with X's. So I'm going to do 5 over 6. My scale factor is 5 over 6. If this question was worth 4 points, Carrington got 2 out of her points because she found the scale factor. The second thing we're supposed to do is solve a proportion. So we use our scale factor. And then we need a fraction with X in it. What do I need to put? Be proud. Say a little louder. Whoever that was correct. What do I put in my other fraction? So, easy test, we're going to get a bad grade? Yes, 4 over X. Agreed. Thank you, Sam. We cross multiply, we get 5X equals 24. So, X ends up equaling some decimal. That's 24 divided by 5. 4 point something or other. I think 4.8. I would put a star by this question because clearly we don't recall the ones, and this was from 7-2. It was on the second page of notes. from 7-2 was how to set up and ask ourselves, can we find a scale factor and do we have a proportion? Okay, I'm going to give you another song for 4 and 6, and then be brave. Go ahead and try 7 through 10. They're really not as bad as they look. Okay. What was the scale factor on number 4? What was the scale factor on number 4? You did 5 over 4? That works. He's doing 5 over 4. If you have 4 over 5, you're not incorrect. You're just setting it up differently than Sam. And since Sam is talking, I will take Sam's answer. Thank you, Sam. If you have 4 over 5, you're not incorrect. As long as you're consistent with your proportion, it's going to be fine. And the next thing we do is we set up a proportion. So I'm going to do 5 over 4, because that was my scale factor, equal to 15 over x plus 5. When I cross multiply, I get 5 times x plus 5 equals 60. So 5x plus 25 equals 60. So 5x equals 35, and x ended up equaling 7. Sam, because he answered the question, he would have gotten 2 out of his 4 points for that, for the scale factor. He gets his 3rd point for setting up the proportion. His 4th and final point comes from can he cross multiply and solve. My first period class really needs to study tonight, because this is awful. This is awful. Because this is not even what we learned yesterday. This is the 7-2 stuff we spent all Monday and Tuesday making sure we could figure out. So, I am confused. This will be 7-2. And then the next problem we're going to do number 6. That's also 7-2. So if you're stumped on these, why did we spend 2 days on that section? And if you're sleeping during my class, it's not going to be a surprise when you fail my test tomorrow. The scale factor on number 6 is going to be 18 over 9, which is 2 over 1. If you did 1/2 instead, that's fine. The second thing I do is set up a proportion. So I'm going to do 18 square root of 3 over 18 equal to 2 over 1. I hear you packing. I think it's a dumb choice. I get 36 equals 18 square root of 3. Miss Jessica asked me if is it okay if you convert this already to a decimal. It sure is. Does not matter to me. I've left out an X somewhere because I was mad. That's what it should be. I shouldn't have. It should be 18 square root of 3 over X. When I cross multiply, I get 2x equals 18 square root of 3, and it ends up being 9 square root of 3, but if you, like Miss Jessica, converted it to a decimal, that's fine. You would have gotten 15.59. That is fine. You need to flip to the back, and we need to look over these last 4 together, obviously. I got 2x equals 18 square root of 3. I divided both sides by 2. 18 divided by 2 is 9. You leave the square root of 3 all by himself. So it's 9 square root of 3. Okay, on the back, this is what we were going over yesterday. I promise you this much. Number 10 is way too difficult for our test. If you want to do it and get bonus points from me and show it to me that you got it done, that would be awesome. I'm probably not going to do one as difficult as 8 or 9 either. I'm trying to do separate triangles like number 7. You have to say it's either AA, SAS, or SSS. And then you have to tell me the similarity statement. You have to write the similarity statement. So, for instance, if I look at number 7, I see they have an angle in common. I see they have a second angle in common. So I'm going to say by AA, triangle XYZ is similar to triangle ZKL. All I need you to do is recognize, is it AA, SAS, or SSS? Tell me which one. Tell me the similarity statement. Okay, in fact, I'm going to say let's not even do 8, 9, and 10 because obviously we just need to focus and study on 7-2. So if I were studying over 7-3, I would look over the exact examples we talked about yesterday during class. And if you weren't here yesterday during class, either phone a friend or, can you believe it, I record and put everything on YouTube.